Deep beneath the rolling fields of the American heartland, where the Mississippi River carves its lazy path, a silent force stirs. The ground seems steady, farms stretch to the horizon, cities hum with life. But beneath it all, the new Madrid Fault lies in wait, a geological time bomb ticking for centuries. In 1811 and 1812, this fault unleashed earthquakes so powerful, they rang church bells 1,000 miles away, rerouted rivers, and shook the young United States to its core. Yet today, it's a forgotten threat, overshadowed by the more famous faults of California. Scientists warn that the next big quake could reshape the continent, devastate millions of lives, and catch a nation unprepared. Could the heart of the United States be the cradle of its next great catastrophe? Let's journey into the Earth's restless depths to uncover a danger few see coming. The new Madrid seismic zone stretches across parts of Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Illinois, a quiet region far from the tectonic drama of the Pacific Rim. Unlike the San Andreas Fault, where plates grind past each other, New Madrid sits in the middle of a continent where the Earth's crust shouldn't move. Yet it does. In 1811, a series of quakes, estimated at magnitude 7 to 8, rocked the region for months. The Mississippi River ran backward, lakes formed where fields once stood, and chimneys fell as far away as Ohio. One eyewitness, a fur trader, wrote of the ground rolling like waves, swallowing trees whole. These weren't just tremors, they were a geologic rebellion, felt from Canada to the Gulf of Mexico. Today, geologists estimate a 7% chance of a magnitude 7 quake striking by 2050. That may sound low, but the stakes are immense. Why is New Madrid so dangerous? It's not just the fault's power, but its reach. Unlike West Coast quakes, which lose energy quickly, New Madrid's seismic waves travel far through the dense, ancient rock of the Midwest. A magnitude 7.5 quake could shake 20 states, from Chicago to Memphis, affecting 60 million people. In 2008, a Federal Emergency Management Agency report warned that such an event could cause 4,000 deaths, 80,000 injuries, and $100 billion in damage. Picture Memphis's skyscrapers swaying, St. Louis's bridges collapsing, and rural towns cut off from aid. The region's soft, river-soaked soil amplifies shaking, turning stable ground into a quivering jelly that can topple buildings not designed for quakes. Add to that aging infrastructure, pipelines, dams, and levees, and the ripple effects could disrupt food, water, and energy across the United States. The fault's mystery deepens with its origins. Why does a stable continent rumble here? Some geologists point to a failed rift, a scar from when North America nearly split apart 200 million years ago. Others suggest the weight of ancient glaciers, once pressing down on the land, still influences the crust's slow rebound. In 2023, researchers in the United States used ground-penetrating radar to map the fault's hidden fractures, revealing it's more complex than thought, with new branches that could trigger quakes. But uncertainties remain. The fault doesn't fit neatly into seismic models, and its quakes are erratic. Centuries of quiet followed by sudden fury. This unpredictability is the real challenge. We can't say when, only that it will happen again. The consequences could cascade beyond imagination. A major quake could sever the Mississippi River's flow, disrupting shipping that carries 20% of the nation's grain. Natural gas pipelines crisscrossing the region could rupture, sparking fires and cutting heat to millions. In 2016, a simulation by the United States Geological Survey showed that a magnitude 7 quake could knock out power to 7 million homes for weeks. Hospitals, unprepared for mass casualties, could falter. And then there's the river itself. Could a massive quake redirect its course again, flooding cities or reshaping the geography of the Midwest? The unknowns pile up, each a thread in a tapestry of potential chaos. Who's addressing this? Scientists are working, but progress is uneven. The United States Geological Survey monitors the fault with seismometers, but funding lags behind West Coast efforts. In 2022, only 10% of the region's buildings met modern quake-resistant codes. a gap that leaves millions vulnerable. Some states, like Tennessee, have pushed for retrofitting schools and bridges, but costs are steep, billions of dollars for a threat that feels distant. Public awareness is another hurdle. Unlike Californians who grow up with Quake drills, many Midwesterners don't know New Madrid exists. In 2021, a survey found 60% of Missouri residents were unaware of the fault's risk. Education campaigns are growing, but they compete with more immediate concerns. On a broader scale, the challenge is coordination. A New Madrid quake would demand a response across state lines, yet federal plans remain underfunded. In 2019, a national exercise simulated a magnitude 7.7 quake, revealing gaps in communication and supply chains. International lessons like Japan's quake-proof skyscrapers could help, but adopting them requires political will. Ethical questions loom too. Who prioritizes which communities for aid? Rural towns, often poorer, risk being overlooked for urban centers. And who pays for prevention when the threat is invisible? These aren't just logistical issues. They're questions of fairness and foresight. Efforts are underway, but they're not enough. In 2024, researchers in the United States launched a project to model the fault's behavior using artificial intelligence, hoping to predict its next move. Community drills, though rare, are teaching families to drop, cover, and hold on. Individuals can prepare too, stocking food, water, and emergency kits for 14 days, as advised by the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Yet the bigger task falls to society, investing in stronger buildings, better science, and a culture that sees the ground's quiet tension as a call to act. As the Mississippi flows on, its banks deceptively calm, the New Madrid Fault waits. Its next quake could be decades away, or tomorrow. The heartland of the United States, so vital to its food, trade, and spirit, sits on a fault line few acknowledge. This forgotten threat challenges us to look beyond the visible, to prepare for what we can't yet see. The question isn't just when the Earth will shake, but whether we'll be ready when it does. Stay informed, question assumptions, and act, because the next tremor won't wait for us to catch up.